The military sergeant said I was too inexperienced to defuse the bomb. He tried anyway. The colonel stepped in and asked, "Why did you let him move first?" "I'm Marcus, 28, EOD specialist. Been in the army for 6 years, deployed twice to Afghanistan. Last week, we got called to a suspected IED at a checkpoint outside Kandahar. Sergeant Hayes was running the operation. He's old school, been doing this for 15 years. Always talks about his gut instinct. I was there as support, watching the robot's camera feed. The device was crude pressure plate, wires visible, maybe 5 pounds of homemade explosives. Standard insurgent setup. But something felt wrong about the trigger mechanism. We'd been on site for 20 minutes already. The checkpoint had been evacuated. Local traffic rerouted. Hayes was walking around the perimeter, studying the device from different angles through binoculars. I was monitoring the robot's thermal imaging, zooming in on different sections. "Looks like a basic pressure-activated system," Hayes said over the comms. "Probably rigged up in less than an hour. These guys are getting sloppy." I adjusted the camera angle, focusing on the wiring beneath the plate. The resolution wasn't great, but I could make out at least 7 distinct wires. Most IEDs this size only use 3, maybe 4. "Sergeant, I'm seeing more wires than usual," I said. "Might want to get a closer look before." "Kid, I've defused 40 of these things. Trust me, they all look complicated until you understand the pattern." He had a point. Hayes had one of the best safety records in the battalion. 0 casualties on his watch. But that's also because he usually worked alone, never trained anyone, never explained his process. He just did it. The robot couldn't get any closer without risking triggering the device. Hayes made the call. "I can handle this," he said, suiting up. "You just got here 8 months ago, Marcus. Watch and learn." I watched him check his blast suit, test the wire cutters, attach the portable X-ray scanner to his belt. Standard protocol, everything by the book, but I couldn't shake the feeling something was off. "Sergeant, can you at least let me run a secondary scan of the—" "Marcus, I appreciate the enthusiasm, but you're here to observe. That's it. Once you hit your 2-year mark, then we'll talk about you going hands-on." Fair enough. I was still technically a junior tech, but I'd spent the last 8 months training on the newest IED patterns. Patterns Hayes hadn't seen yet because he'd been stateside teaching recruits. He approached slowly, each step deliberate. The X-ray scanner beeped as he positioned it over the device. I watched his helmet camera feed, seeing what he was seeing. Blue wire connected to the pressure plate, red wire running to the detonator, green wire as a redundancy, yellow wire. Wait, why was there a yellow wire? And was that a 9th wire tucked underneath? Hayes started cutting. Blue first, then red. The device didn't move. No beeping, no indicators. Clean cuts. "See?" Hayes said, his breathing steady. "These insurgents follow the same playbook every time." But I'd pulled up the robot's earlier footage on my tablet, scrubbing through frame by frame. There, when the wind had shifted the dirt slightly, I'd caught a glimpse of something. A wire that didn't connect to the main cluster. It ran horizontally, almost buried, connecting to something beneath the pressure plate itself. My stomach dropped. That was a secondary circuit. A backup trigger designed to detonate if someone disabled the primary system. I'd only read about these in classified briefings from Fort Lee. They'd been used twice before, both in the past 3 months. Both times, the EOD tech died. Hayes reached for the green wire, positioning his cutters. "Sergeant, the wiring pattern, there's a secondary." I said, "Watch." "That's an order." His cutters opened. The green wire sat between the ruddy blades. One squeeze and he'd cut it. One cut and we'd have maybe 3 seconds before the secondary circuit completed and the whole thing went off. I grabbed my radio. "Colonel Ramirez, this is Marcus. We have a situation." "Sergeant, stop." The colonel's voice crackled over the comms, loud and commanding. Hayes froze, cutters still open around the green wire. "Hayes, do not move." "Marcus, why did you let him move first?" Hayes turned his head slightly, confused and annoyed. "Sir, I'm the senior tech here. Marcus is just observing." "Marcus holds dual certifications in advanced IED identification from Fort Lee," the colonel interrupted. "He's one of 3 people in theater qualified for complex trigger systems. He completed the accelerated program last year." Hayes went quiet. I could see his hand trembling slightly on the cutters. "Marcus spotted the secondary circuit 30 seconds ago," Ramirez continued, pulling up my radio log. "The one you were about to trigger." Hayes backed away slowly, one careful step at a time. His breathing was heavier now, not steady anymore. I suited up.